So it saves us all about 3 minutes of real time. We don't get to see cool out of bounds nonsense. So, you win some, you lose some. And they are off. I can't tell you too much about how good their tech smashing is because I don't know how to tech smash in Japanese. But they both seem to be moving very quickly, so I don't think there's going to be much time lost or gained between them in terms of text. Like I said, these are both very experienced runners, very skilled runners. Both of them starting off with a climb. Oh! Pollsmor takes a tumble but saves it. Ross doing a nearly perfect climb. Unfortunately for him, this is not just a run. He can't reset. Seems a little bit of minor adjustment here to go on because of the slight time differential, but they seem to be right on top of each other at the moment. 47 door time for Pauls, 47 door time for Ross. They are really close, within a second of each other at the moment. Oh, no! Ross missing that ledge grab. But the run is young. There is a lot of time, a lot of things that can happen. Say what you want about this first main deck excursion in Metroid Fusion. It's actually more challenging than you might think. Plenty of opportunities for missed movement inputs and dropped climbs and all sorts of things. And here a little bit of lore. I hope you all are ready for some lore because it's time for X-Parasites. Right now, all the time. I hope you like magical space jello because we're going to be seeing a lot of it. Alright, both of them making good movement so far since that navigation room, making good use of shot cancels, and making sure not to overjump, getting that good, clean movement. Looks like we are now back in sync. Ross a few seconds behind Paul's right now, as they are both on their way to get themselves some nice, shiny new missiles. Okay, it seems to be about a 4-second difference as best as I can tell right now. Alright, with missiles in hand, Pauls and Ross are on their way to the true final boss of the game, or at least the first incident of it. I'm, of course, talking about RNG. Now, in the general scheme of things, RNG is not the biggest deal. I mean, you can get a 46 with bad RNG. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Skill will trump RNG in this game, but in a race, we have both runners that are so close to each other in terms of PB and skill. I mean, they can be the difference maker. And it's going to show up in many forms. Some bosses just have bad patterns that you can't attack them on, and the eye doors, the dreaded eye doors. Yeah, you remember those eye doors in Super Metroid that were great because they'd open up and you could just shoot them? Yeah, in this game, sometimes they do that, sometimes they just open up and shoot you. Just like it's doing for Paul's there. He got a beam. Oh, he's gotten 2 beams. Oh, 3 beams for Paul's. Oh, God. 4? What is this? Unfortunately, and Paul's thankfully managing to make me up a little bit by getting that double missile. Ross does not. Getting better eye door luck, but not getting the double. So they've actually almost evened out here. Paul's still a little tiny bit ahead. But now it's time for Arachnus. You remember him from Metroid 2. You don't? Yeah, you're not missing much. He's a dumb boss there, too. And Paul, both of them getting the best luck. 0 rolls. There is no bakery here on the main deck today. Both of them getting the double. Ross not quite getting the sweet spot. So close. So staying very close, but Pollsmor maintains his lead here. Now a little bit more fancy movement here, trying to get their way out of these behind-the-scenes areas and on their way to the... I forgot what they're called all of a sudden. Sectors! Yes, sectors. And these sectors have numbers. There are 6 of them. We will eventually go to all of them. But right now, they're going to go to the first sector, Sector 1. I assure you the numeration is an absolute coincidence in this case because we will not be doing these in order for a while. But that dramatic music can only mean one thing. The X are spreading, and it's up to Samus, the futuristic Orkin employee, to go fix things. Now, okay, interesting thing here. Let's see if... Ooh, Pollsmor going for the main deck missile, which means he's going for that 45 missile routing. Ross opting to skip it. Which means either he's going to go for 40 missiles or he's going to grab a missile tank later. Now, this has actually put Ross a little bit ahead here, but depending on what he decides to do later, this could actually be offset. For example, we're about to go into Sector 1 right now. Sector 1 is... Oh gosh, I'm trying to have a conversation and the sax is just blowing up doors. We have future doorknobs, you know. God. Where was I? Before I was rudely interrupted by Captain Explodey Face over here. Ah, yes, Sector 1. Sector 1. Right now, since both of them are very weak, you're going to need to take full use of those missiles in order to blow up the atmospheric stabilizers and to be able to avoid jumping. No, really. And with Ross's 20 missile count, he's going to have to be a lot more careful because he wants to maintain full health to get those guaranteed green X drops. Otherwise, he's going to have a rough time later on in the sector where there's a lot of pirates that you need to use missiles to kill. Pollsmor's going to have a little bit of an easier time with 25, but he's still going to want to maintain full health. So we'll see how this goes. They're both going to want to go. They're both going to want to get a nice clean Sector 1 here. And if they do it right, they will be running almost constantly. Now let's see how RNG treats them at the first stabilizer. Ooh, Ross taking a bit of a tumble, tinking a bunch of missiles. This is really bad news for Ross. Thankfully, with full health, he's got a lot of greens. He's gonna have to stop and grab them all, giving Pulse a chance to catch up. And Ross is actually using slightly riskier strats here, opting to kill a couple of the Hornodes. Normally, you only see missing the Hornodes with 25 missiles, but Ross is just playing a little bit fast and loose. He just fires a missile just for the heck of it. Ross don't care. He gives missiles away in his gift baskets. And oh, almost getting body slammed by the pirate, but barely making it out. Man, both of them just had really good pirate drops there. But Ross has 4 missiles. 6 missiles. I was miscounting. Oh! Both of them getting really good positioning on that next stabilizer. Ross is just going to have to be super careful, pick up all the greens he can, but they're both staying at full health. This is why it's so important to have full health in Sector 1. Even taking one hit can turn those greens into yellows. At that point, bad times. Let's see this stabilizer. Ross getting the good placement. Oh, Pollsmor not. He's going to lose a few seconds here waiting. And now the pirate climb. Ross only has 2 missiles, thankfully, with guaranteed double green drops right now. He's going to be in real good shape, and he manages to dodge the Linguini. And there goes... Man, Ross missiles are 8. He's got just enough to do multiple double attempts on the upcoming eye door. That is what you want to see. That is an example of a really, really well-executed 20-missile Sector 1. Now let's see if we can get the doubles. They're a bit harder on this one. Gets 1 beam. Pollsmor gets the immediate double. Oh, Ross botches the double, though. And looks like with I-beam luck, Pollsmor pulls ahead now. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we're going to see any interesting charge core strats. Looks like Pollsmor's going for the horizontal double. I think he got it. And he gets the double-double! And so does Ross! He gets the first one! Oh, wait. I don't think he did. He gets a single double. Pollsmor getting this super clean. We've been seeing a really nice, big revolution in charge core fights recently with the horizontal double, which is actually really exciting. These are just new strats being developed right now. It's been a very exciting year for Fusion. Okay, John, I actually meant to say lasagna. I said the wrong thing. I hope nobody would notice. Thankfully, we have John Unfill here to keep me honest. Thank you so much. But both of them done. They have the charge beam, one of the most important power-ups in the game. Now missiles are not their only option, and they will and you will actually probably see him use it. Oh, Pollsmor misses his charge shot, but takes out the last stabilizer, and with that, he is on his way out of Sector 1. That door takes a little bit longer to open than he probably would have liked. But then again, that's okay. Ross's door takes a while too. And they are both in pretty strong shape heading out of the sector. Pollsmor at full health with 20 missiles. Ross at 89 at 10 under full health with 18 missiles. Yeah, both been in very strong shape leaving the sector. Although Pollsmor has probably the widest lead he's had yet. All because of a combination of having that double-double on the charge core and having getting the double on the door. Double missile is one of those tricks that being able to pull it off consistently will do wonders, both for your runs and in the races. It will save you so much time. It will close gaps. It will water your crops. It will clear your skin. And we're seeing it here. Let's see if we can see if this can continue going, though. Pollsmor on the elevator, on his way to Sector 2. I hope y'all like counting up in increments of 1, because that ends here. After this, we're just going to start bouncing around like a Super Ball in a number factory. I don't know what they make at a number factory either, but I'm pretty sure that joke makes sense in some planet. Alright, now, Sector 2 is a bit of a change of pace. Now they're going to have to worry about their health. If they were worried about missiles before, it is health time now. Because Sector 2 has what I can jovially describe as very friendly but very ouchy wildlife in it. There are a lot of enemies whose favorite trick is to be where you need to be, and touching them hurts. So both Ross and Pollsmor are going to have to be very careful to make it through Sector 2, running into enemies as little as possible, or they're going to be in a world of hurt. The Zoros, the red slug guys that are all over the darn place, will do 45 damage on contact, and at this point, that can spell serious trouble. Thankfully, with a charge beam, they now have another way of dealing with it. Let's see how Pollsmor handles the big room. They can't just go killing them indiscriminately, because they also like to reform at a spot that's very inconvenient near the end of the room. Thankfully, Pollsmor kills the first Zoro, but gets through it fast enough he doesn't have to worry about it. Oh, Ross getting that bad Zoro placement, though. Oh, Pollsmor getting bad Zoro placement there, but both of them making it through the double Zoro room really smoothly. You have to use double missiles. Oh, Ross getting the good placement, though. Oh my god. They're just going so fast at the same time, having a hard time keeping up. But the fact of the matter is, it kind of balances out. Each of them got one good, one bad placement, and they both made it through the double Zoro room cleanly. That double missile to kill this second one is a little bit rough, especially if it's moving towards you, just like Pollsmor had there, but he dealt with it no problem. You gotta curve those missiles early. Ross doing it too. Man, there's a reason why this news is gonna be a good race. These guys are both delivering. They are performing so well here. On their way to get the bombs. And let me tell you about fusion bombs. They are the most disappointing aspect of this run so far. Fusion bombs are bad. And that's all I'm gonna say. Alright. But now they have bombs, and ooh, unfortunately, Pollsmor getting the less good Zoro placement, Ross getting the good placement, and Pollsmor also taking a hit. Thankfully, he's been playing well enough so far that he does not have to worry about health. And moving through that room quickly also guarantees you that those two Zoros will not be blocking you. At this point, they are probably about halfway to the next boss, which not only has an eye door, which as we already seen, can really cause some trouble. The boss itself is just a big old pillar of RNG. Quite literally, it's just kind of tall. And, well, you'll see it soon enough. You can tell me what you think it looks like. Or rather, maybe you shouldn't. Oh gosh, Pollsmor having a little bit of a tumble and having an unfortunate encounter with breakfast. Those pancakes are mean. They do 35 damage. Both of them having a little bit of trouble with the pancakes there. Alright, this room, they want to have a good clean climb. Both of them doing pretty well. I think Ross's may have been a little bit cleaner. The gap is closed again. The gap has closed a bit again. Both of them are pretty much in the same room at this point. Almost overlapping door transitions, and Pollsmor getting Swag Missile. That is a 1-frame trick that saves you 0 frames. Oh! Ross getting 0 beams, Pollsmor getting 1 beams. The lead has changed again, and now it's time for Zazabi. Oh my god. Hang on a second. I live in a household where a closed door means nothing. I apologize for that. But we'll see how many jumps these guys get. Unfortunately, I had to look away for a moment and I missed it. But you can get anywhere from 3 to 12 jumps, and we'll see. It looks like at the moment, Ross's luck is still holding pretty well here. But he's getting a lot of jumps in the final phase. Oh, and just like that, Pollsmor has pulled ahead. 4 missiles to kill the score. Can they both get the double-double? Pauls gets the first double and the second double, but does not get the sweet spot. Ross gets, again, both of them got double-doubles, no sweet spots, right on top of each other. Because of that jump luck, Pollsmor has now sprung ahead. Interesting to note, neither of them are opting to grab the energy tank here, which means they're both going to be going on 3 E-tank strats. Oh, Ross getting the reverse Swag Missile. So they're each 1 for 2 on Swag Missile. They're staying consistent in so many ways, it's actually kind of funny to me. I say as Ross runs into the side hopper. Now, I don't think either of them is going to try sack skip because it's incredibly risky in any percent. Speaking of risk, it's interesting to see that they're both opting to go for 3 E-tank. I mean, that's pretty common in PB attempts, but in this tournament, we've seen a lot of folks just go for 4 E-tank. Gives you a little bit of extra safety, and it only loses you less than 2 seconds, but I'm willing to bet they both realize how close this race is going to be. They know how, each of them knows how good the other is, so they're not taking any chances. They are just playing as best as they can. Interesting. Pollsmor. Oh, both of them opting to take the right side climb. Right side climb. The debate rages on as to whether or not right side or left side is faster. It is said left side is faster in most cases, but if your bomb timing is good, right side is faster. Maybe they just do what they're comfortable with. But the fact of the matter is, they are so close to each other right now. Look at this. Looks like fewer than 5 seconds. Pollsmor and Ross both on the elevator, on their way to Sector 4. Turns out that unlocking the security doors might not always be a good idea. The jello is spreading, and let me tell you, if you have a powdered gelatin, the last thing you want to do is drop it in a lot of water, and guess what Sector 4 is? That's right. It's Metroid Fusion's resident water level. This is also where things could really start to get interesting. Sector 4 has some of the most interesting early game movement. There's a lot of tight jumping, there's a lot of use of all the tricks in Samus's movement repertoire, shall we say. You will be seeing R shooting, you'll be seeing jump extends, you will be seeing the whole shebang. There's any number of things that can go wrong, up to and including the boss. So let us see how this goes. Paul's first to step in, opting to not take the big jump across. Interesting. Alright, first room here. Bombing blocks, no problem. Let's see how he handles these 2 crabs. Ooh, shooting an extra crab for extra vengeance. Nice, clean R shots, getting through, no problem. This room is a bit challenging with the jumps. Ooh, tries to go for the swagtastic missile. Misses it. Still makes it through in good time. Both of them doing a jump extend here to avoid taking a deep dip in the lava, in the electrified water. I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to think that Saris might have just decided to drop a toaster in the bathtub, and this is what we get. Alright, the big vertical climb of Sector 4. Enemy placement looks good for both of them. Oh no! Ross takes a tumble! Oh, the crumble blocks claim another victim. This is bad news. He's lost several seconds here. But that does not mean too much, because they are coming up on the next eye door and the next boss, Ceres. Ceres is a boss that's hated by a lot of people. Ideally, with a charge beam, you can finish it in 2 cycles, but if you're not playing that well, it can take up to 4. Ooh, Pollsmor starting off with a beam. Oh, Ross starting off with a beam as well. Oh, Ross getting 2 beams! Pollsmor is already off to a good start, setting up for the first free hit. And he gets it. Hits it with the flash and the charge beam. Let's see if Ross gets it as well. In there, like shareware. All right. Oh, Pollsmor getting a very fast second hit for the 2 cycles. Super clean. Gets the first hit for the double. Needs 5 missiles for this one. Oh, Ross, unfortunately, not in the ideal position. And he misses the 2 cycle, not hitting it the second time. He gets a good positioning. He's should be able to finish it here, and he does, but he's losing so many seconds. Pollsmor had such a clean fight. All right, Ross gets his single shot in, and he has to get 1 more double, and he's out of there. All right, both of them getting very clean double-double fights. But Ross has got to be careful. Is it nerves? Is it just making mistakes? Just happens sometimes, but unfortunately, this is the race where you can't afford to be doing this. Pollsmor moving cleanly back through Sector 4 to lower the water level. Ross about to do the same. He has to go through those 2 rooms again. Let's see how it works. Clean pseudo screw, clean missile hit. And again, having those 2 rooms very clean. Those are actually probably the 2 hardest rooms to move through in Sector 4. At least the first visit. Ooh, Pollsmor doing some fancy diagonal Shine Spark strats. I think that's actually slower than just doing the horizontal, but it looks cooler. Sometimes you just gotta go for swag. And he sets up for and gets the low height Shine Spark. Gotta do it off the... Ross demonstrating the horizontal Shine Spark, which I believe is a tiny bit faster. Let's see if he can get his low height. He has a very consistent strat for it. I'm expecting him to have no trouble here. Just like that. It's a little bit tougher than it looks. I want to say it's 4 frames, because you have to actually unmorph and then quickly go into Shine Charge. So you just stand on the floor, you're going to bonk on that platform, and bonking is slow. You don't want to bonk. You want to zoom around like a Samus-shaped rocket. So far, that's what both of them have been doing. And with that, Pollsmor is going to be finishing up his talk with Adam here as Ross starts it. They're both going to be on their way to Sector 3. Turning it down from a 4 to a 3, which means we go from wet to smokin'. Sector 3, the spicy nacho sector. What could be spicier than more powerful missiles? That's right. They're getting they're going there to get themselves the best missile upgrade. You thought super missiles in Super Metroid were cool? Oh no, 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 no. Metroid Fusion super missiles are where it's at. Haven't I told you the good news? These beasts will shake the room. They have the most satisfying, gratifying sound. And that's what they're going to get here in a moment. But first, they got to unlock the doors again because somebody lost the key. I'll be interested to see if Ethan decides to do any of the more fancy Shine Spark strats to get into the green security room faster. Let's see what they do. Let us see what they do. Oh, Pollsmor tried for the 1-frame trick, but he didn't quite get it. Oh, he's going for the classic, but still very fast, near the ceiling horizontal Shine Spark, the most popular strat because it's fast and very easy. Let us take a look and see if Ross does anything different. I don't think he tried for the frame perfect trick. Let's see if he decides to do the, Oh! Both of them opting for the classic. And with that, the X's are now in Sector 3. This is now a spicy jello sector. That's probably let's actually not do that. Spicy Jello sounds kind of gross. But speaking of Shine Sparks, though, they're taking full advantage of it right here. See if we can get... Oh, Pollsmor does not crouch in time, not getting that Shine Break. He's going to have to climb the normal way. Surprisingly, unlike a lot of other Shine Sparks, this is actually not a very costly one to miss. Because despite the fact that Shine Sparking is definitely faster than climbing that ladder, the fact that there's that wind up in that bonk means it only saves you about half a second. But we're going to see Ross do it here, though. This is what I was talking about. He got that Shine Break, and now he's just going to rock it up here. But look at how long it takes Samus to pop out of that bonk animation. Still, half a second is half a second, and he's trying to gain back some time. But let us see if we can get some interesting, more Shine Spark strats here. Pollsmor trying to set up for the Data Spark. Surprisingly difficult to get, but I think it looks like he got a good positioning for it. And he gets it, and he manages to open the door in time. Very nice. And now it's time for him to set up to face off against the weirdly named box. It's not shaped like what it sounds like, it's shaped kind of like a weird robot spider thing that shoots bombs. You know, just like a real spider. And here we go, Pollsmor setting up, ooh, missing the charge shot, but getting good missile hits. He's done enough damage. If he can get the hits here... Oh, he tanked! But he still gets the quick kill! I thought he was going to have to wait for an extra jump, but he gets it. Now Ross setting up to do his box fight as well. He's got a bit more careful here, though, because his missile count is lower, and he needs to have 3 missiles going into the next sector. So he can't really afford to tank missiles here. And Ross also gets the quick kill. Missile count's a little bit low, so he's probably going to have to opt to not missile one of the side hoppers leaving the sector. So we'll see how he does that. Pollsmor, meanwhile, just doing what he wants with missiles. He could just throw them out the window, flush them down the toilet. He's got missiles for days. Ross has 1 spare missile. He's probably going to opt to jump over one of these. Yes, he does. Playing it smart, because you need these 3 missiles to deal with that missile barrier in Sector 6 where they are heading. There are backup strats, but you don't want to do backup strats, not in this race. Interesting. Pollsmor saying that he doesn't actually do the Shine Break in Sector 3 by choice anymore, so it's not worth it. I cannot tell you exact frame counts. I was also under the impression it was half a second faster, and there's really no loss for trying, but, you know, Pollsmor says he doesn't do it because it's not worth it. Pollsmor does what he wants. He's a better runner than I am. Alright, both of them now on their way to Sector 6. Sector 6, of course, the Christopher Nolan of sectors, because it is a very dark and gritty sector. Actually, no, it's not. It's supposed to be... Well, I thought Nock meant nocturnal, but this place is not actually dark. It's just kind of purple and has gloomy music. So, hey, whatever. In fact, but it turns out that the biggest threat to both of them in Sector 6 is not actually the darkness, it is these blue X's. Both of them have plenty of health, so they should have no trouble whatsoever, but you still gotta be careful. There's one blue X in particular that has this fun thing it does sometimes where it just kind of trolls you and is right in front of you instead of being directly above you. So we'll see what happens. Alright, both of them gonna have to drop that bomb there. And they'll grab that missile tank on the way out, it's fine. Remember, the bombs in Fusion are so bad they take forever to explode. Alright, Pollsmor already moving cleanly through Sector 6. Ross starting it out, let's see. He drops that bomb correctly. And just like that, he's out of missiles. Alright. Sector 6 also has another oddity of Metroid Fusion. It has an absolutely free energy tank. That's right. That energy tank is 100% free. It costs you 0 seconds to pick it up. Because, oh no, Ross unfortunately did not freeze that blue X. It trolls him in a different way. Thankfully, he's still got plenty of health here. And he's about to get himself a free energy tank as well. Oh, but he doesn't get it for free! He, unfortunately, got pulled in by the phishing scam and actually pays for free product. Poor Ross. Unfortunately for both of them, they gotta deal with the sacks a little bit here. Thankfully, the sacks is a lot of things, but intelligent is not one of those things. And they get past it and Pollsmor gets past it no problem. Ross will do the same thing here. It's a very consistent strat. Pollsmor having a little bit of bug trouble, but getting 0 beams on that boss. Wait, did Ross just do the Scotty strat? Ooh! Alright, got a bit distracted there. Giant Corex time. It's like a Corex, just, you know, giant. Ideally getting 4 cycles, Pollsmor does. Ross having some trouble at the door, getting multiple I-beams. Wait, Pollsmor, can he get that triple-double? He does, he gets the triple-double. He gets the triple-double. So he gets the 4 cycle and the triple-double. That's as clean a fight as you get. His reward is eye strain. Everyone, please put on your sunglasses or eye protection. All right. Ooh, Ross getting a nice fast pattern for those first 2 hits. Oh, the X gets away from him. And he misses the 4 cycle, getting a 5 cycle. And he misses the first double. Oh, gosh. Looks like Ross will be on track to get the next 2 doubles. But still, unfortunately, this is bad news for Ross. He's losing seconds. And Pollsmor is just playing so well right now. But it's far from over. RNG can help one or the other, but just because things are going this way now does not mean they will stay this way. I cannot stress enough, this game, this category are volatile. It is not over until they both got done. We shall see how things go. Meanwhile, Pollsmor getting manhandled by that puffer. It's saying, hey, you had it good for too long. I'm going to make it so you can't go through this hole and get those missiles. That'll teach him. Go back to school, nerd, it says. That's not a very nice thing to say, Puffer. We're just trying to play our game and have a good time. You're over here being a bully. Please no bully. Let's see if Ross can have better luck here. And he manages to beat it there. Slightly less bullying. Let's be honest, those Puffers are probably the biggest bullies in the entire run. They're hard to deal with until you get the ice missiles. The downside of that is, well, you have ice missiles. The only thing I could unironically call a downgrade, or at the very least a side grade. But alright, Pollsmor leaving Sector 6 on his way to Sector 5, the cool ranch sector. Vanilla Ice's favorite sector. The sector sponsored by Dairy Queen. The point is, it's the ice sector. And fun lore fact, you thought you were going to escape the lore? Not a chance, my friends. Samus is not just vulnerable to heat in this game, she is vulnerable to cold. And if you actually try going into Sector 5 early, you will start taking damage just from being there. Thankfully, with the ugly suit, I mean the various suit, both of them can now go into hot rooms and cold rooms and have no problem whatsoever aside from just whatever they cause on themselves. We'll take a look-see. All right. Pollsmor starting his descent, getting crabbed a couple of times. That's bad news. Even with the various suit, enemies still do a lot of damage at this point. And he's actually got a bit of a stretch to go until he sees another red X, so probably doesn't want to be taking too much damage around here. And he enters into the giant cold room. The waivers in this room are the big threat. They can be in any number of places, and all of them are inconvenient. Oh, Pollsmor actually opting to take the slightly slower but safer long run up, so he doesn't have to deal with that waiver pattern that he actually did get. Managing to get some health back, playing it through there very well, picking up some X's along the way. Alright, Ross starting his journey through the big room. So far, so good. He is opting for the fast strat. So if that waiver is down below, just like that, but he hits it with that charge shot, no problem. Makes it past a really disadvantageous pattern. They're using charge shot and missile. Both of them just playing real well here. Pollsmor first to unlock the yellow doors and first to go into the vertical climb of Sector 5. This is actually a really cool room. There's 2 ways you can go through it. This is the primary way you see here. There'll be another way available to them later once they have power bombs. They might do it, they might not. And zooming around, no trouble here. Pollsmor also about to pick up his ice missiles right as Ross finishes unlocking the doors. Alright, with ice missiles comes the incredible power to kill enemies more slowly. That's right, friends. With ice missiles now you can no longer one-shot enemies, which is terrible! On the plus side, you can jump on enemies now, which is kind of neat. The game is really proud of itself for this, too. And it's going to make you do it a bunch of times. Hope you like ice platforming. Alright, Ross now also with his ice missiles. Gonna make his way out of here. Thankfully, neither of our runners today have fallen victim to the dreaded leaving Sector 5 early. Thankfully, we have our big friendly screen shaking indicator in the back of the big room there, letting us know that congratulations, you've done everything you need to do. Nothing could possibly go wrong at this point. Pollsmor just going to be on his way out, and everything will be fine. What did you do? What did you do? Why are there police sirens going off? Couldn't it be? Is this what the legend spoke of? Yes. Yes, it is, folks. Get ready. It's time for that time-honored tradition, the emergency in Franker Z. Something has gone wrong with the reactor at the bottom of the Doggo sector, and we have to go do something about it. Maybe pet it, maybe give it a milk bone, but whatever it is, Samus is equipped for the task. Emergency is actually a very interesting section. The movement in it is tricky. Mistakes lead to falling in the lava more often than not, because of course you fall into the lava. Why wouldn't you? And you have to use a lot of missiles, because like I said, this game is so proud of its ice missiles, it wants you to use them everywhere. You know, kind of like when you buy a kitchen appliance and you use it about 6 times in the first month to make sure you don't feel like you wasted your money. That's kind of what ice missiles are like in Emergency. So Pollsmor and Ross are going to be wanting to go through here quickly, freeze only what they have to freeze, maintain good missile count, and if they do everything correctly, they'll pass through that eye door at 440 something and get a time in the 430s. That is an excellent time. Here's hoping. So far, both of them moving through very well here. Ross opting to kill an extra stretchy. Interesting choice. He's doing okay on missiles, but still, I often feel like you don't want to be wasting missiles here. Alright, Pollsmor getting to some of the more challenging bits here. So far, so good. In this room, he's got to be careful. A missed shot can break a block and cause you to lose time. No problems, though. Just plowing through here. Oh, accidentally taking a hit from the fire guys, though. Still on excellent pace, though. Let's see how the eye door treats him. The eye door can make or break an emergency. Good placement. 0 beams! A 447 eye door is an excellent eye door time. Oh man, Pollsmor's on great pace. 4 missiles for the eye core, though. Sets up for the first double. Looks good. Gets the second double. This is going to be a 434. That is a fantastic emergency time. Pollsmor pulling off a great emergency. Let's see how Ross goes. Oh no! Oh no! Oh god, 2 beams for Ross. Having himself a 442, which is still a great door time. Anything in the 440s is fantastic for the door time. Let's see how his... Oh no, he tanks the first double! Oh gosh. He tanked both doubles! Oh no, Ross! Oh my goodness, Ross getting a 4:24 emergency time, which is still a solid time. Shoot, if I get a 4:24, I celebrate and pop some champagne. But Ross is probably not feeling very happy with himself right now. Missing both doubles like that. So unfortunate. At this point, Pollsmor is on fantastic pace, making that climb really quick. And apparently someone in chat pointed out he's actually ahead of his PB pace right now, ahead of his PB right now. So Pollsmor's playing exceedingly well. But Ross is not done for yet. There are still so many things left in this game, including but not limited to the last couple of bosses, the boss gauntlet, also the spitter hallway. Ooh boy, we got some stuff left yet. We got some stuff left yet. All right, Ross doing his vertical climb here. Makes it past the trickier parts. But it's not quite as clean as Pollsmor's. Pollsmor, quick to remind us that he got 4-beam first door. He absolutely did. Alright, both of them, Pollsmor leading Sector 3. Ross not too far behind. Despite everything that's happened, Ross is not that far behind. Alright, and it is time to return to the main deck. Pollsmor and Ross about to do the right thing, the best thing, the thing that they have to do because the Super Metroid runners won't. Yeah, I'm calling them all out. Come at me. They're saving the animals. They are saving those animals. Pollsmor stopping to take a moment to grab that ledge because he just really likes that ledge, alright? Slightly different movement through these rooms here. Pollsmor making a couple of really minor mistakes there. Nothing terribly costly, but it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, huh, he grabbed ledges he didn't want to grab. But now it's time for the stretchy room. Are we going to see impossible strat from either of them? I don't know. We'll see. Pollsmor opting for classic wall jump into jump extend. Nice and reliable, nice and straightforward, and he's out. Setting up for a shine break here. Fishing looks good, and he gets it. Making it through that room without a problem. Now let's see if the animal RNG is on Pollsmor's side today. Oh, I saw that Edakun run by. If he had opened the door a quarter second earlier, this would have been fast animals. But as it stands, he instead just gets a pretty fast animals. That was actually above average speed. Alright, Ross setting up for the jump extend as well, getting it without a problem. And just like that, he's through the stretchy room. Time for his own shine break here. No trouble. Let's see if Animal RNG can smile on Ross today. Yeah, let's look at Ross's screen, because otherwise you have to look at the suit on Pollsmor's screen, and that's never fun. Ooh. Ross, unfortunately, not getting very good Animal RNG there. That is unfortunate. He needs the RNG to be on his side here. Alright. Both of them on their way down. Let's take a look at Pollsmor's stream for a bit here while we try to avoid looking at the horrifying eye strain suit on Ross's stream. Oh god, I looked at it. Oh god, I got green spots when I close my eyes. Okay, it'll be fine in a minute. Well, that was enough. That was fun shenanigans on the main deck, wasn't it? Absolutely. Let's go on... Wait. Pollsmor did not grab the elevator missiles. Interesting. So it looks like Pollsmor is actually going for 40 missile, but he decided to just grab the tank, the main deck tank early, and then just not grab the elevator tank. Curious. But that's actually kind of interesting, because normally when you skip a tank, well, normally when you grab 45 missiles, it actually makes the boss that neither of them have gotten to yet a little bit quicker. which means either Pollsmor is just going to... Yeah, there's the tank that Ross is getting. So either Pollsmor is going to grab another tank, possibly the one after the spitter hallway, which is slower than the elevator tank, if I'm not mistaken, or he just wanted to have an easier Sector 1. Interesting. I don't pretend to understand what Pollsmor is thinking sometimes. But he sets up for that first Sector 5 Shine Spark, nice and clean, getting the high jump so he doesn't have to grab the ledge. That is by far the harder of the two Shine Sparks to do in Sector 5, quickly at least. But he gets it without any trouble. And remembering which visit this is, so he can go and get the whooshiest power-up, the Power Bombs. That's right, folks. Power Bombs now new and improved with X-ray scope. Next time you go to your dentist office, remember to ask them to take your X-rays using Power Bombs. It'll leave your teeth and your entire skeleton squeaky clean. There's that whoosh sound we know and love. After extensive testing, we have reached the conclusion that power bombs are actually the third loudest sound in the game. The other two sounds, don't worry, you'll hear them later. Okay, let's see if Pollsmor decides to go for a fancy climb here. Nope, he goes for Climb Classic. This is one where the debate legitimately rages on. The difference in time between this and the Kadum strat, which is the strat that we may or may not see Ross do, is small enough that there's honestly no discernible difference if you're better at one strat. Just do the one you're better at. All sorts of fun little variances you can have in Metroid Fusion. Alright, oh yeah, and there's actually a sax chase there, but both of them got out of the room so fast you never saw a sax. Merry Christmas. No patrons of jazz music here. Get off my screen, sax. We don't want you. Oh, Ross is setting up for the Kadum strat. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, he misses the ice missile on the crab. So instead he winds up going through the room more slowly. That's the big problem with the Kadum strat. It can be a tiny bit faster, but if you miss any part of it, well, that's that. You're committed to being slower than the classic strat. And Pollsmor out of Sector 5, about to head up to the main deck where absolutely nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh, Ross is on his way to talk to the computer. Seems that the computer has decided that something is wrong. Computer Dad found something in the car and he wants to ask us what happened. You said you were going to the library, Samus, but I found lipstick. You know you're not allowed to wear makeup when you go out. Were you meeting with boys? Oh, Pollsmor in the spitter hallway, taking a spit, and oh, so Pollsmor is going for 45 missiles, but he's opting to grab the one here instead of the one at the elevator. Interesting missile routing. I always thought that missile was actually slower than the elevator missile, but hey, whatever works. So Pollsmor back at the ship. Is he going to take the safety save? He does not take the safety save. The ship save is by far the least costly save in the game. You lose, I think, maybe 2 seconds, but it gives you a save point in case something goes wrong right before the boss gauntlet. It is such a good save to take in a race. It has saved races. People have won when their opponent has died because they took that safety save. I'll be curious to see if Ross takes it. Yes, we actually have had races decided by those 2 seconds. Ross not taking the save either. They are committed to this. If something goes wrong now, if one of them has the ultimate problem and takes the death, the only way they'll be able to come back is if the other person dies as well. So stakes have been raised substantially. Alright, Pollsmor getting 0 beams on the Yakuza eye door. Alright, it's time for Yakuza, the RNG Spoder. It's so RNG that it may or may not have... Oh, well, you look at that. Once again, it does not have 8 legs. I'm starting to think that may not actually be RNG. And Pollsmor gets the 0 cycle! What is this RNG he is getting? And now it's time for phase 2. This is purely reactionary. And a little bit missing one of the shots there, but still getting through real clean. Gets the first double. Can he get the triples? Gets the second double. And the triple double with 0 cycles, 0 beams. What is this? Ross also getting 0 beams. Let's see if he can have an equally nice Yakuza fight here. And oh no, that's the second so we're on 2 cycles. No, not the 4 cycle, please. Okay, Ross getting a 3 cycle, but those 2 extra cycles are Oh gosh, Ross having a little bit of trouble with phase 2 here. Missing a lot of missiles. He should still be fine, but it's going to give him a lot less margin for error on the core. And he completely misses those first 2 shots. Gets a double there, though. Meanwhile, Pollsmor setting up for the sax chase. No trouble here. Ross getting a sort of kind of sweet spot. It wasn't quite sweet spot, but it was close enough that it formed quickly. Phase 2 of Yakuza fight is actually by far the rougher part, because it's completely, you just have to react to how it's moving and how fast it's going. First phase is pretty straightforward. But alright. With that, Ross has turned on auxiliary power, Pollsmor as well. So now, thankfully, they can open doors, they can save their game, not that they will. However, they still cannot operate the coffee maker or play any video games, ironically enough. Pollsmor on his way to the next boss. With 45 missiles in hand, he's in good shape, though. With 45 missiles, the Notori fight just requires 3 power bombs, 3 charge shots, and then just blow missiles into this stupid stationary thing's face. I'm still not sure what Notori is supposed to be. It just looks like a bundle of vines shaped kind of like... I don't know. So far, so good. Ideally, you'd have full health for Notori to guarantee you those green drops, because you start out with only 3 missiles and you need 5. So they're going to be wanting to get... There's that 1 hit. Now Paul needs to get 2 doubles. That one looked good. Sweet spot's near that pillar. Doesn't go for sweet spot, but he gets the double-double. Pollsmor has just been absolutely murdering it on doubles. I don't think he's missed a single core double yet. Actually, Ross about to face off against Notori as well here. Oh, getting 1 beam. Getting 2 beams! Alright. 45 missiles in hand. Oh, he takes a tumble into the flower. But his missile count looks good. Should be in good shape. All he has to do now is finish and get those doubles on that core. Those beam cores, just the doubles are harder. It's a pain. And oh gosh, he has no missiles. He needs green drops badly. He gets 1 green drop and he gets that first double. Gets another green drop. Gets the second double. Alright, very well played, Ross. Getting the double-double on the core. Clean Notori fights from both of them. Ross on his way out of Sector 2. Say goodbye, we're never going to see this sector again. Pollsmor on his way to Sector 5. Ross will be behind him shortly. Because it seems... I don't know what the scientists were doing in Sector 5. I think they just got really upset the microwave took more than 2 minutes to make their Hot Pocket, and they decided the best way to deal with that was to mutate it and make it control gravity. Because, you know, that's a totally rational thing to do in the future, apparently. So... And everyone doing the right thing in chat, calling out Pollsmor, the leading proponent for everyone to try Nightmare Space Boost. So the question is, will he put up or shut up? Will he rise to the challenge and do his own darn trick? We'll see. He is on a really good pace. He might opt not to. Oh, he's not. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. He's just going for Nightmare Shine Spark. He's just going for Nightmare Shine Spark. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my head. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my head. But in case the water wants a big giveaway, it is now time to go fight, like I said, the world's saddest microwave oven. And it'll give you amazing gravity powers, which manifest as not looking like an absolute dumpster fire. So let's take a look-see. Pollsmor finishing, finally getting out of the water, able to move at a normal pace again. Coming up on the Nightmare Eye door, well, Ross is going to set up for the Nightmare Shine Spark. Now, the Nightmare Shine Spark is not the hardest Shine Spark in the game, but it is the most important. Pollsmor getting a single eye beam. Ross looks good for the Shine Spark. He gets it, no problem. Alright, here we go. That rumble can only mean one thing. Here it comes, the radar range of doom. Nightmare. 3 phases. You'll miss the first 2 phases go by in the blink of an eye, but that's not what makes this fight difficult. Oh no, no. It's the 3rd phase, or as I like to call it, the dance. Because Nightmare will either chase you or that invisible dot. Which one is it? You don't know. You just gotta kind of feel it out. And make sure, see if you can get Nightmare to line up with a spot that'll make it stop flying around. Pollsmor getting an extra hit in. It looks good. And very good. That was fantastic. Very fast Nightmare fight from Pollsmor. Oh, he misses the first double. And he misses, he set up for the second double too early. He gets that double though. Oh my gosh. Pollsmor having a super clean fight, but botching the core fight pretty badly there. That is unfortunate, but still, that Nightmare fight was top tier. Well, Ross about to do the same, getting through phase 1 just like that. Phase 2, so long, you're yesterday's news. Now let's see how he can handle the 3rd phase. Can he dance, or is today the day that rossu123 is Rossu 2 left feet? And he gets the setup. Very quick fight. Both of them giving Nightmare the business. And that business is turned into the core so we can get the gravity suit, please. Gets the first double, gets the second double. Can he do it? He gets the triple double, making up those seconds. Ross having a wonderful Nightmare fight there. His reward is looking like a champion because the gravity suit is a champion's color. And oh goodness, I'm having a hard time staying excited because the music in Underwater Sector 4 is just so soothing and relaxing. Which is actually kind of ironic considering that Underwater Sector 4 is extremely dangerous! So dangerous. These enemies, these nice little fishies, these crabs, these evers look kind of like dragons. They hurt! They really freaking hurt! Despite the fact that the gravity suit gives you better armor, you still take damage if you're wearing tissue paper. I think Samus must have origami'd this suit before she showed up. Because seriously, everything hurts so much. I mean, look at Pollsmor. He's been playing well, and he's already over an energy tank down. But they are both on their way now to get the final missile upgrade. One that is a cool idea, but unfortunately does not get utilized that well. So in practice, all it does is make double missiles more difficult. Because I didn't actually mention this, but let me tell you something about missiles as Pollsmor is heading to get those diffusions. Every time you get missiles, they move faster, and they take longer to shoot, which means double missile timing is different. Which means for all these double missiles that they've been doing, they had to know different timings depending on the missile type. There are so many little things you have to keep track of, you have to practice, you have to get the feel for. in running Metroid Fusion. I cannot overstate how much work these guys had to put in to get as good as they are. Alright, Pollsmor has himself some diffusions. He is on his way out of the sector. First, he has to talk to Dad and let him know, I'm sorry I disobeyed. Please don't ground me. I promise I'll do better. He's not... I don't think he's buying it. Oh, he's not buying it at all. He wants to go get rid of our Xbox. Oh, wait, no. Not our Xbox. He means the Xbox. Because that's right. Even in the future, even in outer space, corporate sponsorship rears its ugly head. The box robot we fought earlier now has Microsoft stickers slapped all over it. And much like a lot of other Microsoft hardware, it just kind of, you know, electrifies the water. It shoots missiles at you. And if you do a software update, it may actually spawn demons in your house. We're not sure. The patch notes just don't want to load for me. But the fact of the matter is, the box is back. It's even more dangerous, and they've both got to take care of it. And they're not going to have an Idor or a Red X before it. So they're going to have to be careful about their health. Because both of them took a handful of hits in Underwater Sector 4. Thankfully, Pollsmor is closing in on a room that has a bunch of blue X's, which net you a good chunk of health. I forget the exact number, but I want to say it's like 30 or 40. So you can grab a bunch of those and get some health back, but still, you gotta be careful. The Xbox has ended runs in this tournament for several people. Yes, I do know this from first-hand experience before someone calls me out on it. But first, they have to get down to the door and wake up the lady that tells us important things. Ooh, Pollsmor trying to freeze both those, trying to freeze both the puffers there. One of them says no and just kind of boops her in the face. Samus is not having a good day. Alright, the ground is shaking. That can only mean one thing. The Redmond Juggernaut is here! Here we go. Pollsmor first to face off against Xbox. Gotta be careful, because the Xbox can jump high enough to knock you off the ceiling, but you have to be close enough to get hit to get these diagonal shots. He gets the shots and moves just in time. Shooting those missiles, and... oh! Having to dodge one extra jump, but he finishes it off. 4 missiles on the core. He's got enough health to take the hits, but he's got... oh! I miscounted. He's gotta be careful here. The wave core is actually every bit as dangerous as the Xbox itself, but he gets it. Finishing with less than an E-tank of health. Oh my goodness. Pollsmor playing a little bit fast and loose there, but finishing it off. God, I was getting so worried about that I had forgotten there was no entry to that authorization. Thank you, disembodied lady voice. I don't know where I would be without you. Meanwhile, Ross getting stuck on a frozen puffer. I think he forgot he's not playing US. Opting to stand in the electrified water instead of putting a bomb near the ceiling. Interesting choice. But he's a little bit too far out. Tinks one of his missiles. Had a little bit of trouble with the Xbox. Thankfully, finishing off about the same speed as Paul's. But his health is a bit lower, so he's gotta be careful with these wave beams. Oh my god, Pollsmor, I turn my back for 1 second, I go out of town, I trust you with the house, and you throw a house party in my absence. I just got a call from the police. They said they found Metroids on site. Metroids! I have no choice. I'm gonna use the Internet of Things to jettison the house into outer space. I hope you learned your lesson. Alright, now... Ross, I hope I can trust you. I'm leaving that house again, out of town, and I want you to not throw a party. That's all I ask. That is all I ask. You had one job. You had one job. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I suppose I can, you know, not ground you if you do me a solid and take care of that nasty lizard infestation we have in the garage. Pollsmor's already on. He's on his way to the garage right now. Going to take care of that nasty lizard problem. Oh, did I say lizard problem? Well, yeah, it's technically a lizard, just a really big lizard that flies and is really loud. So, those of you who have not muted the sound of my voice may remember that I mentioned the power bombs are is the third loudest sound in the game. Well, guess what, friends? You're about to experience one of the two sounds louder than the power bombs. Some of the people out there might tell you to turn up the volume because you might not hear it correctly, but I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be real loud. It's going to be real loud. First of all, let's see. This is the final eye door. Pollsmor gets a beam. He gets a beam on the final eye door. But no. Let me tell you, our lizard friend here is so excited to be part of this race. Wow, how excited is that? Alright, Pollsmor's doing it cleanly here, though. Getting those diagonal shots, because if high school geometry has taught me anything, it's the hypotenuse is the longest line in a square, and Ridley's hitbox is a square. Because if Huey Lewis in the news taught me anything, it's that it's hit to be square. Unfortunately, it also means you are dead. Now, Pollsmor setting up for those diffusion doubles. Diffusion doubles are the hardest doubles in the game. Getting even one double on this diffusion core, and he gets the double on that last hit. Diffusion doubles are extremely difficult. But Pollsmor showing that son. Ross getting one beam. So getting the same luck as Pollsmor on the last boss. So now, Ridley is the only thing separating these two. Let's see if Ross can have a nice clean fight here. Getting those diagonal shots with the missile follow-up real well here. Hopefully gonna stand in the corner. Ridley hopefully gonna cooperate, not turn his back, because you can't shoot through the tail. So far, so good. And got him. Alright, Scotty, if you take a square and divide it into two triangles, the hypotenuse of each of those triangles is the diagonal of a square, which is the longest line. Come on! You're mincing words on me here. Ooh, Ross getting the random red X on his way out from the Ridley fight. And with that, they are both going through Sector 1 here, on their way to fight the true final boss. Pollsmor, meanwhile, doing some nice swag climbing here. Using shots to break out of his somersault, the screw attack does not break those blocks. Yeah, it's a good thing the game gives you the screw attack really late, because the screw attack in Metroid Fusion is the best it's been to date. It doesn't just kill almost everything, it also makes you practically invincible. Practically invincible. There's only two things that'll actually hurt you when you knock you out of screw attack. And wouldn't you know it, those two things are actually the the last two bosses. Pollsmor, meanwhile, facing off against the true final boss. Hope y'all brought a pillow or a cup of coffee or something, because otherwise you might fall asleep here. As I mentioned before, this very long dialogue here is the single longest dialogue in the game. If you were to feed a Charles Dickens novel into a procedurally into a whatchamacallit, a neural network, and tell it to make a video game out of it, you would get this dialogue. Now both of them locked in text. Despite how much these guys will go on and on about how Japanese is the best version, this section of dialogue is still an absolute slog. You cannot escape it in any version. I will just have my fun out of bounds tricks and lose a couple of minutes of RTAs, because they don't really matter. Thank you very much. The only time Metroid became a visual novel. It's a bit of a VN, although if that's the case, then where are my dating options? This is the worst VN I've ever played. Alright, we're going to use this door right here. That was a 1:10:09 for Pollsmor, and we will check when Ross passes through that door to have an idea of what the distance is. But all jokes aside, they are both going to be on their way they're both on their way now to the final proper boss of the game, which is the sax. After all this time, Samus is taking a stand for musical genre of choice. You know exactly what it is, I don't need to tell you. Which means that Jazz has to die. And the only way you can do it is by killing its heart, which is the sax. Okay, so I'm not... Here we go. Pollsmor setting up for the sax fight. The key is to keep it frozen so that you can maximize damage from charge shots. Now, Pollsmor actually plays on keyboard, which means he can't hold down enough buttons to do the diagonal jumping charge shot strat that most folks do. So he just does that strat he does right there, but he pulled it off real quick, no problems. It is in no way a hindrance to him. Getting the two-shot phase 2, it's time for the core fight. Diffusion doubles on an ice core, no mean feat, but he's going to go for triple doubles. Can he do it? That one looked good. Oh, he misses the second one. That one looked good. He gets double doubles. He gets double doubles on that ice core. He's in great shape here. If he's as far ahead as I've been reading in chat, he is on PB pace here. Oh, Pollsmor remarking that even if he is in a fast pace, he thinks he has lost his chance at the 45 here. You know, Ross setting up for the strat. He's doing the more traditional diagonal jump strat. The key here is to keep the sax frozen, and he gets it in the super clean 4 shots. That's ideal. Very nice. Setting up for the double shot here. He gets it. Can he get the triple double? First hit looked good. Second hit looked good. Oh, I think he missed that third one. He also gets double doubles. Much like the Ridley core, though, even getting one or two doubles is great. Getting triple doubles is amazing. All right, Pollsmor heading into the final room to face up against, you guessed it, the true final boss. And there he is, the big boy, the absolute unit, one of the 2 loudest sounds in the game. Let me tell you, its mama could be in another solar system that would hear that scream. Instead of summoning its mother, all it gets is a sax. Oh no, baby hates jazz. It wants to hear the wobbles. Get that garbage out of here. But no, Pollsmor will not get out of here. He will in fact set up for the vertical quick kill. The faster quick kill, but the harder one. And he gets it. And he gets it. Ross finishing off this is on his way to fight the Omega. Does not get the low height shine spark either. But with that being picked up by the ship, Pollsmor is our winner here today with the official SRL time of 1:13:43, which is a 33-second race PB for him. What an amazing race run Pollsmor has put on. And Ross, not far behind, about to face off against the Omega here. He's going for the diagonal strat. Takes a little bit longer to set it up, but it has a very clear visual strat and easy peasy Metroid squeezy. The Omega is done. And Ross is showing off how you cannot infinite bomb jump in Fusion because Fusion bombs are terrible. News at 11. And with that, Ross has finished as well with an official SRL time of 1:14:37, less than a minute behind Pollsmor. And I think it might be him now. Ross, GG.
GG. Pollsmor had the run of his life, man.
Oh, man. He was playing out of his mind.
I could not keep up with that crazy RNG.
It was... I was pretty dumbfounded. Just... At the beginning, your RNG was better. But then just at one point, it just... The game decided, no, this is not what we want. It flipped the knobs around and just never looked back. But still, you put on a great race for us. Well done, Ross. So how do you feel about that run? I mean, I can kind of imagine, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I did the best I could with what the game gave me. That's all I can say. I finished 52 seconds behind my PB. Pollsmor actually with this run beat my PB by like 9/10 of a second or something like that. So, you know, like he had what, a 0 beam one round, Yakuza,
yeah,
0 beam everything else.
You got 4 beams on the first door, and then from that point on, I never saw more than I think 2 beams.
I think
like
for
once.
me, though, it all fell apart when I messed up Sarah's fight because he gave me that really bad pattern.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising to me because it's like I think you were trying to set up to set when it flew back across, but it hit you before you released the shot or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I've made any major mistakes after that, though. It's just poor RNG, really. Well, I'll take that back. I messed up at the wide beam, and that's it. I got a triple-double on Nightmare. I got the double-double on Plasma. I got a double-double on Ridley. I got a double-double on SAX.
Yeah. No, you actually had the better Nightmare and the better Ridley.
Yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, that's just how the game is.
Yeah, Fusion is just some days is just kind of like, you know what, today is not your day.
It's all good. I'm still in it, and I will make sure that I meet Pollsmor.
You're gonna come back and give him the what for?
Yep. I'm gonna have to load up my super RNG, my super secret RNG ROM.
Ooh. Well, don't worry, Russ. Your secret's safe with me and with the 180 something people watching. So I'm guessing you're gonna be doing your super secret training regimen in order to prepare for your next match, because now you say you're not out of it yet. You're dropping down into losers, and you'll be facing off against the winner of C Scotty W versus Mickey now.
Yeah, so basically all I have to do is beat Mickey, and I'll see Pollsmor again.
All right, well, it sounds good. I guess I'll look forward to that rematch then.
Yeah, either way, I'm going back up there, and then this time I will make sure I have better RNG.
All right.
Hey, well, I mean, I still got a 46, right? So,
hey, yeah. I mean, I'm actually hard pressed to think of a race that's a race where not many races wind up with the same minute time at the end. It looks like got a 46:06. Oh man.
Yeah, Pollsmor was just literally 9/10 of a second or 8 faster than my PB. So unless like I couldn't do anything about that, you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing PV runs. I messed up the climb, so obviously it wouldn't be a PV run anymore. But
yeah, I didn't do it, but I was actually tempted to say that the number on your name changes, increases every time you reset it, the climb.
yeah, like this 123 is the amount of resets so far in the last hour that I was a little bit practicing.
That sounds about right. Oh
But
my
yeah,
goodness.
GG to Pollsmor with the run of his life. I think Pollsmor actually beat the world record, the race world record with this run.
Oh, really? The SRL doesn't mention that. It just says personal best.
It has to update. So like I did a .wr in the channel, and he beat the race world record by 1 second.
Oh dang, he did. I see it.
So there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, all y'all just witnessed a race WR here. Pollsmor put on an incredible race run for us here.
Well, yeah. If I don't make it out of the losers bracket, then I'm rooting for Pollsmor to finally break out of his streak of second place.
Oh yeah, he's covering his house in silver because that's he just keeps getting it.
Yeah, he's got tons of silver lying around.
My goodness. Whew. My heart rate's dropping again because that was pretty intense all the way through. I was holding pretty good level of excitement there. Any idea when actually no, you're completely at the mercy of Scotty and Mickey.
Well, yeah, like I said, all I gotta do is beat Mickey, and I'll see Pollsmor again.
All right, sounds good. I don't think we have that race scheduled. Let me take a quick look. See here. Looks like nope, we don't. But don't you folks worry, we'll get that one scheduled up pretty darn soon, and shortly after that, we will get these last couple of races. At this point, it's all linear. At this point, it's just one after the other. We are in the home stretch, folks. This has been a long, fun tournament, but we're finally down to the end. And I, for one, couldn't be looking forward to these next couple of races more. Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Got any final thoughts, Ross, before I talk about what's coming up on Speed Gaming?
Blah blah.
Ooh. Always saying that brave stuff, Ross. Goodness gracious.
So okay, I one final thing though is that I seriously considered doing sack skip this race. I don't know if you know, like, I haven't updated anyone on this, but I consider myself to be the most consistent sack skip player. Maybe that could be contested by Scotty, because he is also consistent, but I do it in my runs every single time now.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Wow.
So I seriously consider doing it, but Scotty talked me out of it like 5 minutes before the race, so I'm blaming him because like my logic is that if I did do sack skip, then all of that RNG would have shifted over to the good RNG.
I mean that makes perfect logical sense. I don't doubt that if you'd done that, you would have gotten 0 beams from now until at least the end of the week.
Yeah, that's just how it is. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I actually blame Scotty on this loss.
I understand, and he's in chat right now, and I'm sure he'll be reacting to that momentarily, or just completely ignoring it. I don't know. Scotty, I don't know what Scotty's inside Scotty's head, but hope y'all enjoyed that fusion. I know I did. I wish there was more fusion today, but alas, there is not. However, what we do have is all sorts of stuff. We hope you like Link to the Past Rando, because you can find it on pretty much any Speed Gaming channel, even starting as soon as 27 minutes from now on Speed Gaming 1, and then later on tonight on all of them. Also, if you don't, that's not your thing, we have Diddy Kong Racing on Speed Gaming 3. We have Super Mario... Is that Sunshine? Yes, Sunshine. On Speed Gaming 2 at 6. And if Metroidvania is more your thing, we have Shantae and the Pirates Curse at 7 p.m. A game that I adore. It's a fantastic game, a fantastic speedrun. That's one that you should watch if you like that sort of thing. And if you want something that's a bit more friend-shaped, we got you covered. We got Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland on Speed Gaming at 8:30. All sorts of good stuff going on today. As far as Fusion, though, keep your eyes peeled on the schedule, because as soon as we figure it out, we're putting it up, and we got nothing but great races left. And I don't think we have anything else going on this channel after this, so we pretty much stop when we want to stop. What do you have to say about that, Ross?
I mean, yeah.